Hey folks, you are most welcome to our new video, and here I have brought somebody outstanding person. So you see every single day that I come up with the video with the business owners, digital business owners. But today I have come up with somebody who is going to tell you how can you improve your memory, how can you increase your brain power. So here we have our amazing guest, Rina Lang, mind and brain coach over here. So, Rina, you are most welcome over here. My audience would really like to listen a little introduction from you.
Well, first off, I'm mind and brain power coach, not just mind and brain coach. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. And yeah, how did I start out on this journey and became a mind and brain power coach? So basically, my background is in finance and consulting. I was such an achiever all my life and really probably struggling with this whole imposter syndrome, thinking I'm not smart enough. So I had to overcompensate. So I studied harder than everybody else. I had to be the first. And I went through a couple of burnouts, mental burnouts, physical burnouts in my 20s. And I didn't realize that. I was just kept pushing and pushing because I wanted to achieve things. Until in 2015, I landed my dream job. And in my dream job, I realized my mind was completely breaking down. My brain was just so fried. I struggled remembering. I would go into client meetings and I would forget what was decided, what was discussed. So I started secretly recording conversations on my phone because I could not remember anymore. I kept making mistakes. I felt like I'm the stupidest person on the team. And it was a very bleak period of my life. It went on for about 2 years. And needless to say, I did not quite succeed in my dream job. But because I was so young, I was just in my early 30s, I knew that I had to do something about it. So I left, I traveled around the world. I went to India. I did my yoga teachers training there. I meditated. I went to Buddhist temples to learn more about Buddhism and their strategies to improve the mind, because they're famous for their mind games that they do. And mind you, prior to that, I have tried to do speed reading courses and memory courses, and it just quite never worked for me. And I just knew something was going on with my mind, with my brain. And at that time, I didn't realize that it was a really big side effect of the burnout that I experienced before. So if this is something that you feel that this is the space and place that you are in, I think maybe the brain will give you 2-3 chances, and then chances are maybe if you're lucky, you get to the 50s without feeling like your mind is not what it used to be. But I think in this crazy world that we are living in, we're still using the brain from the 20th century, and we're trying to cope with the challenges of the 21st century. The game has changed. I read a book called Stealing Fire. I read a book called Stealing Fire. If you haven't read it, I highly advise you read the book, because I read it about 2 years ago, and it kind of like opened my eyes that if you really want to get ahead and succeed, the rules have changed, the game has changed. Mind hacking is big. Everybody is investing crazy amounts of money, especially like in the Silicon Valley, in the army, in all those like high stake places. People go to Burning Man and do all kinds of things, be it medical plants, whatever it is, to really unlock the full potential of their consciousness. And I realized, oh my God, this is what I've been doing all along for the last 5 years. My brain was failing me, and I was trying to do everything and anything that was available on this planet, be it foods, exercises, yoga, whatever it is, to get myself back on track. And I realized I learned so many things, and people were coming to me for advice. What can I do here? What can I do there? Multitasking, this and that, stress. And I would have all those tools available. I'm like, try this, try that. And eventually I transitioned into having this as my coaching niche. And now I work with business owners, high potentials, very successful people, and thought leaders in the industry, and helping them unleash their brains and look at it from a different perspective. Everything is energy. So that's how I approach all my the healing of my brain. Because one of my superpowers ever since I began meditating was that I actually can feel energies. I can feel energies. I feel what's happening with me. I knew that something energetically with me was wrong with me. I felt like my head was stuck in a fishbowl all the time. And this is perhaps something that you're experiencing, that you just feel like Like you're hearing people speak, but it's like an echo. You cannot quite grasp what they're saying, or you are reading things, but then 5 minutes later you don't know anymore what you read. Or you multitask and there are all those things and you feel like so distracted, your mind is scattered. And then again, at the end of the day, you cannot sleep out. Your brain is always on fire, always working, always worrying, always being stressed. But you feel like it's just like spinning wheels, but you're not getting anywhere. This is where I was and where I am now. My mind is clear, I'm efficient, I'm productive, and I have 2 phones and I have a computer and I multitask a lot, but I don't get overwhelmed. So you need to really start understanding what is it that's overwhelming you truly and how you can remove it from your life. Because there are people who are running, countries, billions of people, right? India. And how come they don't get overwhelmed running a country and constantly dealing with people, and you get overwhelmed by 2 phones or 1 phone even, and some distractions? So what is the difference?
Right. So I believe we just got to understand that, the thing that you are sharing, if a person is struggling with their improving their memory and increasing their brain power, that could be freely done. One can improve that, one can increase that if they practice it. Or if I, I believe you
Well,
are saying
it's not
something.
about practice. Yeah, it's not about practicing. I really don't like the word practicing, because practicing is kind of like, I have to do this. There is this belief overall in the society that, we get smarter as we are children, we get smarter, learning is easy. And then our intelligence peaks sometimes in our 20s and 30s, and then it plateaus, and then it kind of like comes crashing down. And hopefully we are the ones who won the lucky lottery, and we are not going to be the one with the broken mind, when we are 80 or so, living vegetables. We just hope. Hoping is not a strategy. And it's not about so much about practicing. I mean, how much can you practice if your head is stuck in a fishbowl? It felt like there was so much hard energy and so much weight on me. I was as if an elephant was sitting on top of me. That's why many weekends I would spend at home just pressing the button to watch some movie and just binge watch, because I was so energetically drained. So there was no energy available to even start practicing anything. And if I started, I could never push through and actually succeed at anything, because there was just no energy. So let's start talking about energy. How can you start energizing the brain? So basically, by working on yourself energetically, removing that energy that is keeping you stuck, keeping you drained out of your energy field, that is the number one step. A brain that is well rested, because the brain is the most stressed part of our body. Many people don't realize, you go to the gym, you flex your muscles, you have pain in your muscle, you let it rest for 2 days, you're fine again. The brain never gets to rest. So basically, you're running on fumes. You're running your life, your brain on fumes. Which means then, how can you start energizing your brain, keep it refreshed, energized, so that it can actually serve you? First step is, of course, getting a good sleep. But then, how many of us get a good sleep? Because what is the mind? How do you even use the mind? The mind, to me, it is the instinct, intellect, and intuition. There are 3 things. That is the mind. The physical body has intelligence to it. It's called the instinct. That's why when you play sports or a cup falls down, you're able to react, because there is this intelligence of the body that is able to do all those bodily functions for you. And sometimes we sense danger before we see it, right? We sense when somebody is not a good person for us to hang around, they're going to probably cheat us out of all our money. The body senses, we contract in the presence of certain people, because the body senses, the body knows. There is much more than just the physical world. There's an entire energy world. And that's what the book, Steel and Fire, is going to help you understand. And people are investing a lot of money. This is what 21st century is going to be all about. Unlocking your brain's potential. This is the best thing you can invest today in, if you want to get ahead of the game, or stay at least in the game, because a lot of people are falling behind. And if you're still young and you're striving to have your business, you better start investing into that area. That's the biggest competitive advantage you have. So if you cannot get a good sleep, why can't you get a good sleep? Because we are like sponges. We're like sponges. We keep absorbing all that energy, negativity from places, from other people, and we never let it go. I like using the analogy of the monkey with the banana. How they catch a monkey with a banana? They put a banana into a jar. The monkey comes around, grabs the banana, and he's not smart enough to let go of the banana and to be free. This is how we are. We keep picking up all those energies from other people. Banana, banana, banana. We grab and hold on. Before you know, you're carrying a house on top of you, an elephant or whatever, 10-story building. That's why as we get older, children, as their energy is so pliable, their energy is still clean and fresh. That's why they have the child's mind, right? In Buddhism, they talk a lot about the child's mind. That's where true thinking can happen, right? This is a child's mind. It's a clear mind. There are no preconceptions. There is no conditioning. There are no unhealthy, dirty, disease energies that we've picked up. All that stressful energy is not even yours. If you just sit down, close your eyes, and just tune in into your energy field and feel what is the percentage of the energy that is not yours. What is the percentage of the stress that's not yours? The worry that's not yours? Money worries that's not yours? You just probably picked it up. Let it go. I usually tell my clients, generate the feeling of free fall in your body. Free fall. You're going to get caught. Free fall. That energy will easily move out of your energy field. Just send it back to whoever you picked it up or to the universe to be transmuted into love and light. And that's how you want to do it. But basically, send it back to the owner. This is a very famous coaching technique because basically, whatever stress you're dealing with that is yours, authentically yours, you can, or problems or whatever energy, you can deal with it. It's never overwhelming. If you feel like you're drowning and you can barely cope, you're barely surviving, barely keeping your head above the water, it means it's not your energy. Send it back to the people that you picked it up from. When I was most stressed, still had my consulting job, I would remember how often I would lie on my bed and I would be holding as if my life depended on my bed. I'm still so stressed. I feel like I still need to fight fires, and I could not relax. There would be like this grip, all those, monkeys with the banana, all those things that I was holding on to, that I would be lying on my bed. My brain would be so stressed, so like, become this fight and flight state. It cannot even relax when I'm lying on my bed. So I was not getting good night's sleep. In fact, I had insomnia for 3 weeks, and it led eventually me to picking up meditation. That is what really helped me out to really train my body to let go of the things that are not mine.
All right.
Letting go of that grip. So that's the really very first step. Get a very good sleep. Of course, then the food. I used to love my coffee. Just today, I posted a post on my social media that I have not been drinking coffee for a month. I celebrate today 1 month of not drinking coffee. My brain used to not get jump started unless I drank coffee for an hour. Only then I was ready to open up my emails. It was that bad. And if I tried skipping coffee, I tried giving up coffee here and there, the withdrawal symptoms were horrible. And then I felt like I was sluggish. I lacked energy. And then after a week of just kind of like living my life half a life, I would go back to coffee again. But now I decided it's time. It no longer vibrates with the healthy lifestyle that I want to have for myself. So instead of that, I started replacing it with healthy shakes. I would throw in beetroot, celeries, apples, bananas, mangoes. Luckily, I live in Mexico, so there is a lot of awesome fruit available. Even avocado, I would throw in. Avocado is a superfood. It's a very, very good food for the brain. Just start throwing it all in. I sometimes have my low points, energetic low points, sometimes at 11 and sometimes at 2, one or the other. I usually just have one shake a day. And that boost, it lasts me for at least 4 hours. It's like as if I had 20-minute nap. Honestly, my brain is energized. So many vitamins are in my body. This is what I replace my coffee with. And I feel like my gut is thanking me every day for that. It's a very, very excellent way to get your that energetic boost. Many of you might be still working from home in this COVID pandemic time. You might be able to just throw in some fruits and veggies together and have your have your shake. Enjoy it, try it. So that's a big thing. Another thing, now that we are doing so many things in front of the computer, I always recommend to my clients, do not sit and consume content. Pace around. This is something that my sister has been doing for the last 6 months or so. She's been walking for 10, she's been doing 10,000 steps every single day. And I kind of followed her. I'm like, okay, let me try that out. And I started pacing around as I'm listening to something, be it replays, be it a meeting. I'm always on the move, because moving around your energy, it energizes the brain. Again, I noticed that I just remember so much better the content that's being shared with me. Everything that I do, I listen to it at 3x speed. Our brain, we often bore our brain with slowness. Many people don't understand this. I tried learning speed reading and such because my mind was wandering away off, and I tried doing some courses. But then I started listening, for instance, to all my audiobooks. I highly advise people to never attend live events, just watch the replay, save your love time. I'm enrolled in so many courses. I just don't have time to listen, to be sitting there and listening to it live. If I can squeeze in 3 hours in 1 hour, because I listen to everything in 3x, 3.5x, it's 1 hour of my time. I'm done. I'm pacing around, I'm cooking, whatever I'm doing, and I'm consuming content. And just by the body, there's one part of our brain that's busy keeping our body moving, which means another part of our brain is coming online, is able to consume, absorb, store information much better. So try doing that. There are a lot of plugins available. I think the one I use is called speed something. Because a lot of videos on Facebook you cannot speed up, so I installed actually a speed plugin, and now everything, all the videos can be. I watch Netflix 3x as well. I don't have time to watch a 2-hour movie. not 3x. I watch maybe 2x or 1.5. So use those speed up options. It forces your mind to focus on that one thing. And guess what? Meditation world has changed. Many people still think meditation is us sitting in a cave or watching our breath and just sitting and not doing anything. Actually, meditation is prolonged focus and awareness, which means if you are focused and aware on that, your awareness is on that one thing, which is, let's say it's your, that replays that you're listening. That is already meditation. It trains your mind to focus on that one thing and remove everything else. There is no time for distractions because you might miss out on just that golden nugget. So the mind is forced to really pay attention. And that is why I'm able to have 2 phones, a computer, and being distracted all the time. But even when I'm pulled away, my mind is still focused on that one thing. And I don't get drained as I used to be. Of course, there are sometimes we have something important coming up, and we might get a bit overwhelmed, but it's nothing compared to what I used to go through.
All right. So I would, I believe these are the content that we can understand in order to, we can also use the strategies that you shared, that having a healthy sleep, having a healthy foods. So that's what we can consume, because what we are consuming, that's how our mind is acting accordingly, right? So I believe there are people doing the multitasking every single day, I believe every hour. So how, in order to do that, they forget what they just read, as you mentioned, right? So how can they improve their memory power?
So again, just to maybe before I explain the memory power, we need to take a step back and really think about what is the mind. To me, everything is energy, as I was saying. And there is something that we call consciousness. Many people call it soul. There is that part of us that is the silent observer. I'm sure many of you, like I was assaulted before, and I remember clearly how during that stressful situation, there was that part of me that was almost like outside the body and just watching the whole thing happen to me. It really made me aware more than ever that there is a part of us that is that consciousness that is eternal, that is just using this body for its experiences. Guess what? There are many people assume I have a soul and that's it. Yes, you have a soul, but the soul is in the body to different degrees. Is 5% of the soul right now in the body? Is 50% in the body, or is 100% in the body? What's the level of soul in the body? Many people don't realize that as they go through stresses and pains and hurts and sufferings of life, soul just starts disassociating. It's not enjoying whatever it's experiencing. How many times a day do you wish you were somewhere else? How many times a day you wish you had a different life? How many times a day do you wish you were somebody else, or you had something better, or you were somewhere on that beach somewhere else? Guess what? The more you dream about escaping your reality, the more you escape it literally. You might have sometimes met people where you talk to them and you just have that feeling that it's like a house with open doors and windows and nobody's there. Like they're there, they're talking to you, but they're not really there. They're constantly absent-minded. They're constantly kind of like all over the place. And energetically, you just feel there is no strong bone to them. And there are other people that they just have this presence and magnetism, and you just want to be around them because they're just radiating vitality. Guess what? There are different degrees, levels of consciousness in the body. So again, if you're talking about multitasking and doing all those things and stress and all that, it's hard to live your life and deal with life and remember things and have your shit together, pardon my language, but it's really that. Having your life in order. It's hard if there's just 5% of you left in the body. And I meet people like that a lot that come to me, and I just energetically, they just feel like if you push them just slightly, they're going to fall over. They are not a tree that is fully present in the body and they live their life. But there are other people that we can see it, that can have incredible lives, you know, and they run governments, they run countries, they run organizations because they're fully present, and there's so much more of the soul presence and awareness there. That is why the less energy you have, every little problem is a drama, because you cannot see 5 steps ahead. You cannot see your life 5 steps ahead because you're just fighting fires today. You can only survive the next 5 minutes. That's how you live your life. And if you are running your business from that space, I don't think it's going to succeed, because business has an energy to it too. It's an extension of who you are. If there is very little energy in your business, how many clients do you think you're going to attract? Like, look at Tony Robbins, you know, very famous coach that is out there. He's able to easily bring in 30 people, 30,000 people in stadiums, right? He's able to sustain energetically so many people. How many people can you actually sustain energetically? How many interruptions can you sustain energetically without it ruining your day? How many clients, how many stressful situations can you sustain? But it's becoming more and more aware of who you truly are. If you're fully present, you're using this body because you have the physical body, emotional body, mental body. Mental body needs to be developed. You think just your physical body gets tired. No, the mental body, emotional body gets tired too. And if you have not even begun developing your mental body, many people think, but only few people on this planet truly are thinking. You think that you think. I did Vipassana meditation 4 years ago, the 10-day silent meditation. I realized my mind is not interesting at all. It's just hurts and pains, resentments, some sort of a feeling, some sort of an unresolved past thing that I regret. I could have done better. Worries about the future. Will I have the money? Will I be able to do this and that? And it's all about our emotions, with a little bit of thought smeared on top of it. But most of the things you think, it's not even thought. There is no unique thought in there. There is no groundbreaking thought in there. There is no thought that inspires a whole nation. No thought that makes people think. It's just like little worries smeared on top of some sort of unresolved emotion trauma. Very few people think. And true thinking can only happen from that child's mind. So what is child's mind? It's about cleaning up all that big fish that is swimming in our tank, that is zapping away all of our energy, because emotions are energies trapped trapped energies that eat away all that life force that could be used to actually run our business, could be used to actually cope with multitasking, all of that, because multitasking is not going away anytime soon. That's what I'm saying. You got to upgrade your brain, your mind, from 20th century to the 21st century, so that you can cope with the demands. Things are gonna get even worse, which is good, because it forces people to rise up and polarize in the mind. Right now, majority of humanity, are polarized in the emotional body. That's why they think they're willful. No, they're willful through their emotions. But are you willful in your mind? Probably not. Probably not. You think, but it's actually just, oh my gosh, I'm hurt, I'm afraid, I'm sad. And out of that emotional drama, we make decisions. Are you going to be successful in your life? Are you going to be successful in your business if you're running it all from that space of trapped emotions, hurt feelings? So again, once you understand that there is something else going on with me, and it's all about cleaning up, and there are lots of tools available these days, energy healing modalities, frequencies, and all kinds of stuff, like really left and right. There are things that are coming out in the last 30 years. So many techniques, tools. Why is everybody focusing so much on cleaning themselves up energetically? Everybody's talking about bad energies, bad vibes. I have to clean myself up. Well, you have to. That's what I've done. And the more I cleaned up, the less there is for me to think. And I can actually focus on that one thing. Because all the brain does is actually picking up on all that stuff that is swimming in your tongue, and it's being constantly distracted, interrupted, and dragged in and distracted, because there is just too much for it to read. Brain is nothing but just a device that reads the energy and shares with you what is it that it sees. The more you clean it up, the more you're present, the more likely your consciousness actually wants to hang around and live this life and help you sort it out. Because life never gives you more than what you can handle.
All right, perfect. So, it just blew my mind while I was listening to it. We need to understand that what are the unnecessary things happening around us, and what we keep on thinking multiple things at the same time, and that's how we are distracted, right? So, in as you
If
as
you
you
think But if you think about it, you're just thinking the same 100 things over and over again. When I did my Vipassana, I was like, oh my God, my mind is so freaking boring. It's the same 100 things. My parents, ex-boyfriends, money, this and that. It's for my job is not even interesting. It's the same 100 thoughts that you keep thinking day in, day out, day in, day out. That is why to my clients, I recommend a lot journaling. This is a technique that I picked up from a book called the Artist's Way. And it's a book about how to unlock your creativity and all that. But basically, I realized I've been journaling every day almost for the last 2 years, is that all the thoughts that we are so hung up on, so obsessed, it's like a broken record. If you actually sit down and write it out, understand what is it trying to do for you? Why is it there? How did it came about? Where did it begin? What is unresolved around it? Just write it out. Give it its air time. Give it that opportunity to tell you what it's trying to tell you, because it's serving you for it's there for a reason. It's trying to serve you somehow. It's not your enemy. Emotions and thoughts are not your enemy. I don't want you to take that idea away from this conversation. They are there. They're showing you that something has trespassed your boundaries, something that went against your authentic desires, your authentic well-being. Somebody has done something to you that was not right, and at that time you were not in a position to actually resolve that situation to your benefit or to everybody's benefit. And now there is that regret, there is that worry and all that. If you actually give it a voice, write it out, you will be surprised how it will never come haunting you again. That's how you start your clean up. And a lot of my clients that started journaling, they're like, oh my God, just by writing it out, just spending those 5 minutes, giving that annoying thought, emotion, some airtime to tell me what it's trying to tell me, it's like the whole day was saved from that thought forever, Try doing it that way. Give it a voice. Try to figure out what it's trying to say, and you might start just cleaning up. And not just that, after writing for 2 years, one of the other incredible side effects and side benefits that I experienced is that it organizes your mind. It's very difficult to have a good memory if you are in a room and there are 100 people shouting all the time and their clothes and everything is just all over the place. You're trying to find that one thing that you need to remember, that one needle in the haystack. Actually, as you start giving all those thoughts a voice, writing it out, understanding, getting to all those insights, before you know, your room is cleaned up, everything is on its rightful shelf. Everything becomes so organized. That's how you really organize a mind.
All right.
So you can start observing yourself. Like if your table is a mess, if your computer is a mess, if everything is a mess, guess what? Being a messy person is a reflection of the mind. People who have very, very organized minds, they have everything on its rightful place. I was watching this video about these people who have perfect memories. Usually their houses are perfect. Everything is on its rightful place. Everything is rightly folded. They know exactly where to find it. It's impeccable. They're so organized in their lives, which is a reflection of their mind, which probably is also the reason why they have such perfect memories. So it's not to kind of like make you feel bad about being disorganized. I used to be disorganized and I'm still not as organized as I would like to be, but I'm getting there because I'm paying attention to it. It's a reflection of your mind. If your things are all over the place and you like being all over the place, probably your mind is not organized. Start getting more organized so that you can improve your memory.
All right. So it's just been that we avoid these little things, that organizing the things, and that's how our mind gets messed up. So it's just like that we need to organize the things so that our mind act the same way. It also get organized at the same time. So I really would like to say thanks over here, coming over here and providing the value to the audience. I really would like to ask if you have any program of yours, and if my audience would want to join your program, so they would be happy to join it. So if there is
Yes.
any, you can name it.
Yes, of course. So I'm launching a new program, which is going to be starting on the 21st of February, so in 2 weeks from now. And feel free to connect with me through LinkedIn, Rina Lang, RinaLang. Find me also on Facebook. So I'm very active. I have a Facebook group. It's called 10x Brainpower in Intuitive Intelligence. To join my Facebook group, but check out my LinkedIn profile. You'll find the links to my program that's coming up. And it's a 10-week program where I take people through all those different tools that really are going to help you jumpstart your brain and the mind. Because just because you do all those exercises and you improve your memory, it doesn't mean that it will prevent your brain from breaking apart. Very, very intelligent people on this planet still end up with mental deterioration and dementia, Alzheimer's. So you need to think about those two things as two tools that your consciousness uses. So you need to heal the brain and the mind at the same time. So it's a 10-week course. It's every Monday. I'm based in Mexico, so it's Central Time, 10 a.m. Central Time. And it's about 1 hour and a half long. And this week, I still have a promotion going. So the very, very early bird for my program is 500 euros for the 10-week program. And you're going to get lots and lots of amazing takeaways. And try and join before this Sunday, because the price is going to be different next week. And I hope you found a lot of golden nuggets in this conversation and you learned something new. Of course, I teach so many more techniques, and it's really designed to upgrade the brain to serve you in the 21st century. So that's what it's all about. I hope you can join me. Rina Lang again on LinkedIn.
All right, perfect. So what I'll do, I'll just keep your Facebook group link in the description so that the people who want to get connected with you, they can click on the link and they can directly join your group over there on the Facebook, right? So thank you so much to the audience as well that they have been listening to us very carefully. I know you watched you haven't watched any kind of the content like this before on my channel. So that is why I brought this particular podcast over here so that you also understand in order to keep on doing your work in your entrepreneurship in your business world. You also need to take care of your brain, your mind. So that's how you keep moving ahead forward, right? And that's how you can make amazing moves with your business. So if you are somebody who is struggling in order to increase your brain power and improve your memory, I believe she is the right person to get connected and learn the things. And I believe you also are a published author.
Well, I'm still working on it, so it's still
All right.
work in progress. Eventually, there's going to be a whole book around this topic. Yeah, I'm working on it. I do also have a podcast. Check out my YouTube channel. The links are also in my Facebook profile, LinkedIn profile. You can easily find my YouTube channel link.
All
I
right.
also talk about all kinds of things,
So
brain
I believe
related, mind related.
they can join from the Facebook group, and from there they can get all the access, right? So thank you
Yes,
so much,
I
people. Thank you so much, people who have been there till here right now. And I'm really grateful to you that you are connected over here. And I appreciate it if you just subscribe to the channel and like the video, share it with your friends, to your business partners, so that they also understand that how they need to keep their brain on improving mode and also improving their mind so that they can make amazing move with you as well. So thank you so much, Rina, for being over here and inspiring our audience and letting them know that what is the importance of improving their brain power and improving their memory. Thank you so much for being over here on the show.